Want to know what makes Pratt a great place to live and visit? Tune in to Visit Pratt, the podcast that highlights local events, amazing people, top-notch facilities, and everything that makes our community shine. Join Cody and Tiffany each month and stay connected to all things Pratt.
All right, welcome to this month's episode of the Visit Pratt podcast. And if we're coming to you a little bit late this month, it is the month of May. This is when things get busy for everybody here in Pratt. And one of those driving sites that make things busy is the Green Sports Complex. That is the host of today's episode. We're here at Smoky Ford Field, one of the beautiful fields here at the Green Sports Complex, joined by Justin Crouch and Brad Lingefelter and Tiffany Riley. We'll get more in depth with Brad and Justin here in a bit, but thanks for everybody sitting down. And Tiffany, I'll let you steer the ship from here.
Okay, that's always scary, but I'll do my very best. So we wanted to be out here at Green because this is the hub of a lot of May, June activity here in Pratt, Kansas. We wanted to go ahead and bring our new rec department on board and kind of introduce them to all of the community and beyond Pratt, because they're the ones really steering the May and June ship here in Pratt. So if you guys don't mind, maybe just a really quick introduction of who you are. They're both in their first weeks here, so we'll try to be nice.
And we're excited to have them too.
There you go. Yeah, I'm Justin. I'm originally from Louisiana. Came here to play baseball in 2013 and 14 at PCC. Met my wife. Went back to Louisiana, finished school in baseball back there. Was on the fire department there for a while, and then the wife just decided that we should be smart to move back to Pratt. And I love Pratt the 2 years that I was here playing, so I agreed. We came back, and I've been here since 2020, and I loved it. Been part of the community, the sports. My wife's the cheer coach at the high school, so I kind of involved in all of their stuff. I've been a paramedic here since we moved back. And then I recently, like you said, moved over full-time as a Pratt Recreation Director. So I'm excited to get back into sports, my true first love and passion. So that's kind of a little backstory about me.
And for those people, sorry, Brad, to cut you off, that don't know you or don't know who your wife is, she's a Pratt native. Nicole Strecker.
Yep, she's a Pratt native.
Who Justin is married to.
Correct. She's Pratt through and through. She's hated to leave, and she loved to come back. So she was, her whole family's been from here, from McDonald's to, and then my father-in-law Steve teaching at the middle school and the high school football and track. So yeah, the Strecker family is pretty well known in Pratt.
All right, well, I'm Brad Lingefelter. I'm originally from Illinois. My wife and I are both from Central Illinois. We moved here in 2002 to work at Barclay College. I was a part of the adult degree completion program, and then later an athletic director, coached baseball, coached women's basketball, coached some volleyball, quite a few different things. Been a part of JAG. A lot of people from Pratt in the area would know about the Jobs for America's Graduates program, and Pratt was one of my programs, and managed the Greensburg pool for a few years and whatnot. And so coming here to Pratt and being a part of this, and you said that you guys are happy to have us, and I've had so many people come up and say that, are so excited for this and whatnot. And so I feel really at home, and I really like Pratt and the time. Like right now we live in Haviland, but I love Pratt, and I'm excited to see where we go with all this.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing all the things that you guys do with the rec department. We've seen what Tiffany's already been able to accomplish as the tourism ambassador now, and travel and tourism and things like that, the concerts. April finished up with a busy month. We had the open range and some other things, and that kind of led us into this busy month that was May. So what have we missed so far that's already happened that you want to touch on before we get to things coming up?
May. Well, we've had a couple of tournaments, a youth tournament, an adult tournament. We've been doing registrations for all of our youth and adult recreation programs.
To touch on, we had a USSSA baseball tournament at the beginning of the month, and then we had a slow pitch softball tournament the next weekend, and then we just wrapped up with Pratt High baseball and softball season, unfortunately.
I know, that was last night, depending on when this gets published.
So, and then we have state softball for 1A, 2A coming up at the end of the month. We'll welcome 8 teams into town for that. That's always a big event for Pratt. And then the first weekend of June, we roll into youth baseball. Then the second weekend's fast pitch softball. Third weekend's youth baseball. Fourth weekend is 12U state for youth baseball. Yep. So for 5 months in a row, we're going to have a tournament going on out here. So we're excited for that, for all that means for Pratt. So that's a quick synopsis kind of what we got going on for the next 5 weeks. So I'm extremely excited for that.
Talk about a little bit, we're here at Green Sports Complex to kind of show it off, and we have a lot of events here scheduled, but talk a little bit about the importance and the economic impact that some of these events that you mentioned that we've had and that what we will have on just the community as a whole.
Correct, yeah. The last tournament we had about 25 to 30 teams here, and so only 2 of those teams were Pratt teams. So that's a lot of people coming into Pratt, spending money in Pratt, staying in hotels, filling restaurants, filling Legends, those type of places. And so we thrive, and we obviously want the Pratt teams here, but we love to have out-of-town teams too, because they spend tax dollars here that people that aren't directly involved in the sports world, that they may never step foot on Green Sports Complex, but they can feel the effects of when we have tournaments in town, that there's that many more people in town in Pratt that aren't normally here. So this is a huge economic piece for us. That's why we're trying to grow the tournaments, getting more and more teams in, branching out for adult stuff as well to try to fill in the gaps when we don't have youth tournaments going on. So this is a very huge piece that we have. We're fortunate to have such a beautiful complex here in Pratt. Everyone that I've talked to that comes here is amazed at how nice our facilities are. The community has supported the city, really has bought into the sports here in Pratt, and so we're trying to maximize the complex and get everything that we can out of it.
And one of the things for the people that do come here that seems to get better every year is the concession stand.
I tell you, I've heard rumors, before I got over here of the pulled pork nachos, and I got in here, and Ada Welch is kind of heading up the concession stand portion of it as far as the grind of being in there and whatnot, and it's incredible the amount of food we're putting out there with the hot dogs, the pulled pork nachos, the chicken salad, and then you got your staples of your hamburgers, your hot dogs, and all that stuff. And but it's incredible. The portions are awesome. The prices is right, and we have been slammed. And last night at the games, one of the things that one of the Abilene parents walked into the concession stand area and walked in and just kind of looked around, and she's like, this is nice, and I was happened to be cooking some burgers at the time, and she said, when are those ready? And so they came here ready to eat, and so it was cool.
Well, as you get older, sorry, Tiffany, one of the things you notice is how good a ballpark's concession stand is.
Right. I've been around a lot of concession stands, and I can tell you, it's a pretty good one.
I was going to say that Green Concessions is a great summer dinner option. When kids are out here for rec, come out here and
let us feed
there's
you.
No admission to get in for those games. Come watch T-ball kids try to figure out if they run that way or that way first, and grab pulled pork nachos and things. So
and your meal deal is about $7. I mean, you're not going to get that somewhere else necessarily. So come out here and eat and watch your kids play. It's awesome.
Tiffany, you mentioned the rec there. Justin touched a lot on the weekend tournaments that are going to be in town this next month and the coming weeks. Talk a little bit about the rec program, the midweek activities. That's where a lot of the Pratt community gets use out of this complex.
Right. Yeah, we've been taking registrations, and they are closed.
Yep.
But the T-ball, little boys and girls T-ball, starting at 5.
Yep, 5
I think,
and 6.
and then up to fast pitch, girls fast pitch, and boys Hap Tumont, just leagues, and then we've got adult leagues. Those are still open for a couple more days, I think, for the co-ed and the men's team, so the adults can get in on the fun. But yeah, it's a great way to teach the kids the love of the game, and we've got volunteer parent coaches, and we've got high school, college kids that help to coach. A lot of our kids in Pratt's first jobs are working for the rec, whether they're doing concessions or officiating or coaching. I love that as a mom. I think that's a great place to start, and kind of get back to the community. And then, when they're Greenback or Thunderbirds or Beavers, then the kids are looking up to them, and they've followed them all along, and they're like, oh, that's the kid that coached me when I was in T-ball. So it's just kind of a cool climate that we can start here in Pratt. So.
Now, when you say they're closed, is that like officially closed? Or I know
Well,
for years when I saw they were
Yeah.
closed, that's usually when I knew, we need to text somebody
Well,
and get our kids signed up.
Yep, they were closed before I
Before he started.
Actually, before I officially started, but I've signed several up
last
after.
one
We
was
we
about 30
understand,
minutes ago.
you know, things happen. We have to set deadlines, but if there's any way that we can make it work to get the kids to play, we'll do everything we can on our end to get them signed up. I mean, there's some limitations here and there that we can't do for certain things, but if there's any way possible that we can get them signed up, we're going to get them signed up. Rec League's important to us. We have 26, off the top of my head, local teams in rec for baseball and softball, and then we have a handful of out-of-town teams, so like a Cunningham, Stafford, St. John, Kiowa, Greensburg. Some of those that don't have their own, they'll come to Pratt and play in our rec leagues too. So we're over 30 teams for our rec baseball and softball. So it's one of our, if not the largest activity for the rec programs.
And one of the big things that help those programs be so successful is sponsorships from area businesses.
That's correct.
Probably too late to get in on this ball season, but looking forward to fall and winter and things like that. How do
Absolutely.
businesses
So
that want to help support the rec program get involved?
Absolutely. So that's something that I did want to touch on, of how amazing this community is. I've kind of already touched on it a little bit, but basically I had 26 local teams, and so I said I'm going to find a sponsor for all 26 teams. And it's this year is $150 to sponsor a team. I went out in one day and I was full, and so then the next day people were calling back and saying, yeah, I want to do it, and so I just kept adding them on, and we were able to buy new equipment. So we got new helmets, new bats, new balls. We're trying to get each team to have at least one new bat and some new helmets, and have fresh new baseballs, new T-balls, some age-specific softballs for the girls. So the businesses and the individuals in this town stepped up, and it wasn't even hard. It was I just went down Main Street, made a few phone calls, and I was over 30 in a day pretty much. So we're always open to sponsors. We have leagues coming up. If a business solely just wants to sponsor a team, whether their kids on it or they know someone on it, they can hurry up and get signed up, and they can sponsor that team. Or if you just want to donate to the rec for us we have some funds available to buy new equipment or pay for registration in some cases, of those type of things. We're always open to that as well. But the community is hands down the most generous community I've ever been a part of.
Absolutely.
Is that something that the rec offers? I know other programs, other cities, they have kind of a scholarship program, if you will, for maybe families that want their kid to play ball but don't have the means to make it happen, whether it's equipment or the fee to play.
Of course. Yeah, it's called Friends of the Rec. It's a fund that we have some dollars in, that if you ever have a kid that wants to play and you don't have the financial means, or whatever the case may be, don't let that hesitate or stop you at all. Just talk to me, talk to Brad or Tiffany, whoever's in the office that day, and we'll get you set up. We have, like I said, there's very generous members of the community here that we have dollars available, that if there's ever something you can't afford a pair of cleats or you can't afford a glove, we can't buy every single person, but if you're in that case, we'll gladly do everything we can to help you out. So don't let that stop you from playing rec sports.
Oh, that's pretty neat. Now, we spent a lot of time talking about the ball fields, but this weekend, Memorial Weekend, is a big one for Pratt too, as the swimming pool gets opened up. How excited are you guys to get that open for the community?
It's time.
Yeah, it is, and they're already out there working. So that's one of the things that falls under me as well. And Marley Bates is coming back for her second year being the manager. She has been fantastic. She's just got back from Kansas Wesleyan on Sunday. She's already putting in numerous hours at the pool, getting it clean. She's got people already there cleaning stuff out. It's going to be ready to go, rocking and rolling. Get it full of all the ice cream sandwiches and the sodas and the chips and the different things that we're looking at doing there. But yeah, we're open on Memorial Day. We're going to be full bore, ready to go. So it's exciting.
And the weather looks like it's going to be a good weekend to cooperate with it.
I hope I'd like for it to get a little warmer, but yeah, it's going to be a good day.
So the pool opens at 12:30.
Yes.
This year.
Any change in the hours from last year?
Yeah. Monday through Friday, 12:30 to 7. Saturdays is 12:30 to 6, and then Sunday is 2 to 6. So, and then there's adult swim in the mornings, 7 to 8, 7:30 to 8:30.
And then 2 nights a week.
And then 2 nights a week. So yeah.
And then I thought I saw something, maybe even posted today, about summer memberships, annual memberships, passes. What are the options for people as far as that are going to use it quite a bit?
There's a daily, you can come in $3 a day for an adult, $2 for a child. Then the season pass is $120 for an adult. You know, just like if you don't want your whole family to come, just you. $120 for the summer. For a kid, it's $90, and then for an entire family, it's $150 for 4 members, and then it's $15, I think, extra for everyone after that. So yeah. Well worth it.
Yeah, I was going to say, you think about that, how many times you
Yeah.
get to use it throughout the summer. You can't beat that price for the amount of fun you can have for that cost.
Yep.
Tiffany, I know you had some other things coming up in June that you wanted to touch on, maybe some 5K, some events like that. Why don't you run down those for us?
Yeah, absolutely. This weekend on Sunday, there is the Sea Spot Run 5K, and you can still register for that. That'll be at Lemon Park. That's a benefit for the Humane Society, and I'm pretty sure you can bring your dogs on a leash to run with you. It's a run or a walk, and I think there's a 5K or a 1 mile. Then we get into Miss Kansas Week is going to be here before we know it. Miss Kansas Week kicks off with a bingo a night. That's what they're doing this year. I think you have to pre-buy tickets to go play bingo with the contestants. And then, of course, the parade downtown is always a huge thing. But before the parade, if you go out to the B29 Museum, they've got a 5K going on. This will be their second year of doing that. And then go to the parade and then go back out to the B29, and they're having a Veterans Memorial picnic, and they've got the sound crew singing. They've got a really cool photo op Top Gun. It looks like a jet that you can sit in and take your picture in. They've got a lot of things going on out there. I think they're going to have bouncy houses and food and an ice cream truck. And then just be around town that day. And then, of course, that night is the finals for Miss Kansas and Miss Kansas Teen is going on that night. So that's always a big weekend. And there's softball tournament. Is that the
Correct.
softball weekend?
That's going to be the first week. That'd be the baseball the first weekend, and then the second weekend is fast pitch softball.
Okay, so that's always a busy weekend. There's a couple of vendor fairs on the 14th. I think there's the one out in Iuka, and then there's the one at the municipal building. There's a kids triathlon. That's a new thing going on. So they'll be swimming at the pool and running in the park and riding their bikes. So that's a new thing that we're trying. That's all run by Phoenix Massage. Kyra is running both of those events. And then, of course, the fair will be here at the end of July. And then right here on this field, we'll have Paramount to end the summer with our end of summer bash. So
that'll be pretty neat. Finally get the concert on the Green Sports Complex.
That's
Last year's didn't quite come through.
That's
weather.
the goal. So
that'll be fun. I know everybody had a great time the first time Paramount was here.
So the tickets will be released on that probably within the next couple of days to a week, so we can start pre-selling all of our VIP tickets and general admission tickets, and that'll be a sold out event again, I'm sure, because that was a lot of fun. So that's going on. What else? You mentioned earlier, come down to the office. That made me think that I should probably plug that the rec office has moved to City Hall, so they're no longer located at the municipal building. So the phone number is the same, so you can still call, and then you can come down to municipal building or to City Hall, and we can get connected with you there. So that is the new location.
And that's the best way if you need to get a hold of Justin or Brad, correct? What's the best way for anybody out there that wants to sign their kid up or any of that rec stuff? Is it through Facebook? Is it calling the office?
You can go on the Pratt Rec website, and it'll take you to our registration link. And if you can find your link on there, as long as it's before the deadline, you can sign up on your own. If it's after the deadline, then you're going to have to call or visit the office at City Hall. You'll go to the front, and the ladies will let you on back into the back. We're in the very back into the corner. And come and see us. We'll get you all squared away. If you ever have any questions, call or email or just visit the office face to face. We'll be glad to help you out.
So, and while we're talking about the city, we was also asked to make sure I mentioned that there are some positions open with the city of Pratt. So they're hiring a patrol and dispatch and some maintenance /
yes,
fire
truck driver / maintenance that falls under the rec program. Yes, we definitely need we have an open spot in that, and it's a very important job. I'm on the fire department as well, so yes, if you're looking for a job and be interested in fire truck driver / maintenance, come apply.
Yeah. all good jobs. So
some great opportunities out there, and some great opportunities this summer to have some fun, whether it be here at Green Sports or down at the swimming pool once it gets opened up Memorial Weekend. But anything else we need to touch on before we close it out?
Nope, I just want to say thanks to the community for supporting myself individually, and then obviously the rec program. We're looking forward to seeing how much we can grow the rec department, and ready to hit the ground running.
All right, well, we're excited to have you two on board, see what you're going to do. We know it'll be good things. We can't wait to see what comes of it. Tiffany, as always, thank you for another episode of Visit Pratt. Until next time, we've been here at Green Sports Complex.
thank you.